Howdy, y'all, and welcome to our first ever attempt at playing the Cypher system by Monty Cook Games. We are joined today by a myriad of folk from all around this country, including our friend Kelsey from the Arcane Library, Sean O'Hara, Mr. Castle Mac Sean himself, Jeff, Castle Mac Jeff in the flesh, and Jonathan, our friend. We are going to jump right in because I want to get right to this action. Today's episode is going to be incredibly grim. It will not end well. Not for these heroes, or anti-heroes as the case may be. This is our first time using the Cypher system, so we apologize if we get anything wrong. I see Grant and Mr. Cook himself in the chat, so y'all feel free to just holler at me. Finally, one last note. We are raising money today for Extra Life. Anything that you all can donate goes to the Children's Hospital of Richmond, Virginia. We have already beaten our goal before we ever even went live, so we did what any endeavor in Souls would do, and we doubled that goal. So we're trying to get to $1,000 today, 1,000 American dollars, and if you can help us, we would sure appreciate it. The link right now is in the chat. Without further ado, let's get started. Atop a rocky, lonesome hill, four figures stand silhouetted by the setting sun to the west. They stand in a circle. Below them in the distance, the shapes of men on horseback surround the hill slowly, cautiously. As the sun goes down, they're moving without purpose, for they know that these four are done for come dawn. But the silence of the wind-swept hill is cut by the sound of whimpering, as a horse whinnies and whimpers on the ground, wounded only moments before from a bullet from a Winchester repeater. Roy, you look down at this faithful steed that has served you for many years, and all you see is pain in its eyes as it groans under the wounds.
I think I would walk over without saying a thing, pull out my pistol, look back to the figures, holster the pistol, swing my leg over the neck, push the head down, pull out my knife, cut its throat, and continue to hold the head down for a few minutes.
Moments later, it stops moving as hot blood fills the rocky sand around you. The three of you watch. What do you do?
I'm going to look out over the distance where the men who have come to kill us are, and just kind of give them a look, kind of mentally count what I can, and then turn to my comrades and go, well, they are not going to arrive in the dark, for I do not see lights, so we have time to make a good last stand. Shall make them pay for trying to take our lives.
Do we really have to take a last stand here? I think maybe it's dark, we could slip out in the middle of the night. I think that probably is the best solution. Why do we need to die on this godforsaken hill?
Elijah, they're surrounding us. I don't see any other way out of this. I take my bowler hat off and kind of knock the dust off and adjust the rim, put it back and say, we're going to be following that horse come dawn.
If I have learned one thing in my time here in America, it is that you live by the gun, you die by the gun. It is the way of your people.
Well, I do have a gun, I'm just not very good with it. You three of you seem exceptionally good with it. Maybe if you create a distraction, I can go get help. Very fast on my feet, very fast on my feet.
If you attempt to run, I can assure you that a small 45 caliber will run far faster than you.
There's no need for that. I'm just putting suggestions out there.
I'll wipe off the blade of my knife on my leg. What you can't see is that 5 riders came around the other way. They be waiting. Silas ain't down.
And almost as if he were summoned at the mention of his name, the voice of Silas Cook rises from below the hill. Now y'all is surrounded. You might as well make it easy on yourselves. Turn in now. Maybe boys will go easy on you.
Sounds like a good suggestion.
Perhaps if you will turn around, leave now, Cyrus, you will not join your brother in Montgomery. 6 feet under the ground.
Victor, you always did have a sharp tongue, boy. And you hear one of the other gang members, who you all know is Jock Smalden, and he is perpetually a loudmouth. He's like, come on, Victor, let's just me and you one-on-one, boy. You hear like, shut up, boy.
I'll be like, is that Jacques down there?
Yeah, you know Jacques Roy. He's itching for a fight.
I'm gonna take my rifle and try to shoot.
Awesome. Okay, you pull up your Winchester, take aim, and why don't we, for the first time ever, do a skill roll? So Jacques is level 4, which means you multiply his difficulty by 3, so you need to roll a 12 or better. However, do you think anything would modify that roll? So here are the things you can do. You have pool under speed, which is how you would shoot. You can spend 3 points of speed to reduce that difficulty by 1. Simultaneously, we didn't really pick skills since this is a one-shot, but if you think you're an excellent aim...
So I'm Sharp Eye, so if there is a weakness, you get to decide immediately if you think that there is a weakness maybe that I could aim for.
Okay, I think the weakness is his... it's not going to be a physical weakness, it's his pride. And he's just like, come on! Like he's just making himself totally available. So let's lower that difficulty to 3, meaning you need to roll a 9 or better.
Okay.
Mr. Webb, maybe look where the moon is and the angle in the trees. Maybe if you step over here to the right, you might get a better shot at him. You see, that rock right there would probably cut his line of sight to you considerably. Right now, the moon would be shining off of your weapon, and he might see it coming.
All right.
So I'm going to encourage him.
Beautiful. Love it.
And as he steps up, I'm going to kind of stand beside him and start... So you talk so much! And I'm going to try to draw their attention to me so they're not paying attention to Roy.
Alright. Your crew has successfully reduced the difficulty. We're going to say you just got to roll an 8 or better right now. That's not quite accurate. We'll make it a difficulty. Yeah, we'll go for a difficulty 2. This is an easy shot. He's making himself available. He's overconfident. Take the shot.
Just a 1d20?
Yep, need to get a 8 or better. Alright, you take aim. He's like, come on, boy! Oh! He shot me, Silas! And he falls to the ground, and you see a couple of the figures start to advance, and Silas is like, whoa, boys! Come on now, Jock had it coming, boy, you had it coming. And
I'll be like, hey, boys, looks like you ain't got Jacques no more.
He's just, Silas, I think I'm dying! He's like, shut up, boy.
They've got 2 things right now. Jacques and shit, and Jacques left town.
Nice.
I'm gonna yell down and be like, hey, Silas, I got a pile of gold for you if you're brave enough to come up here and parlay with us one-on-one. If he ain't yellow.
My boy just took a shot at Jacques. That weren't exactly sporting like. I think I'll just wait till morning. See, I am a patient man, miss. I can wait. That gold gonna be mine one way or the other.
Well, I guess we gotta go down fighting.
You know who's not patient, man? Your brother. He was so impatient that I couldn't shoot him fast enough.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see about that tomorrow, aren't we, Victor? See, here's the thing. I've told the boys not to kill you quick. We're gonna keep you alive for a little bit, you Russian bastard.
Now we'll see if you're as cold as old country is.
I like this one, boys. We'll keep him alive a little extra long, just so I can hear him flap his gums. Alright, let's take a little trip down memory lane. Let's flash back to the day before. What is it that made Silas Cook's gang want you all dead? Where were you, and what happened? I will give this to you all to help me decide. We'll say we're in the little town of Empire, New Mexico.
Sitting around what was the voice? Empire, New Mexico. I raise a toast to the death of Montgomery Cook. May he rest in pieces. May we never see his brother again, as we have now taken his gold. Cheers.
Cheers. Richer today than yesterday.
Whiskey down hatch.
I will not cheers and immediately and too hard. Slam it against the table.
The piano player pauses for a second, sees that everything's okay, gets back to his little jangly tune.
You need to tone it down just a little bit, Roy. We are still under radar.
Elijah would as soon as he started doing it, he would have gotten off the table and moved away, like he's going to go get another drink.
Okay.
He does not want to be associated with any of that.
Yeah, you come up to the bar. He's like, rowdy bunch.
A bit, yes. I lost my accent. I got too many in my head going.
That's okay.
Yes, we would like some more whiskey, please. By the way, these are just some individuals I met along the road on the way here. They were helping me against the brigands about, but
he's kind of staring.
Not really associated with them directly, of course. You know how it is. But I told them I would buy them a drink once we got here.
Well, sure thing, mister. Grabs a bottle, slides it over to you, a couple of fresh glasses, slides it across the table.
All right, well, I'll take the bottle and the glasses. Thank you, sir.
He just nods.
Back at the table, I'm like, and the way Elijah got him to come out and talk to us like we were gonna just chat, that was something else. That guy can talk a rat out of its skin.
He's very good with the tongue.
He just puts the bottle down and just puts this.
The bartender's like leaning, just watching you guys like, what the hell?
Before we crack a bottle of whiskey, I reach into my black vest and I pull out a small flask from the old country, and I pour 4 shots of vodka and I slide the flask back. To our new riches, new friends, cheers. Do svidania.
I'll mutter under my breath to no future.
Unfortunately, I cannot partake. You can have mine, but I do thank you for that.
Well, if that is how you feel, it is fine.
I'm gonna take out, I have this really fine gold pocket watch that I'm gonna take out and click it open. And I'm gonna put it back and say, well, you know, we shouldn't be waiting too much longer to make our break for it. That was the plan, right?
Da, we should probably leave before sunset.
Break for it? Whatever you all have, planned after this, I do wish you the best. Unfortunately, I have many towns to visit to sell my wares, of course. I appreciate the help on the road that you provided for me, but I don't think I would be the best person to accompany you at this point.
As he's talking, slowly over the sound of his voice, quiet at first, you hear the sounds of many hooves stomping on dry, dusty roads coming down the main thoroughfare.
Fuck.
I would get up and look out the window immediately.
Yeah, you look out and you can see a large mass of men, festooned in pistols and rifles, riding down the street. Good ways away now, kind of at the edge of town.
Well, Mr. Flynn, I believe you are in it now.
That is unfortunate. He's just kind of looking around, like he's thinking in his head is like, we're out probably in the middle of nowhere. There's no place to hide. Mm-hmm. How many men do I see?
Gonna be probably about 24.
Okay. I'll go up to the bartender. It might be good to get the sheriff or whatever law enforcement you have around here. There are some ne'er-do-wells coming this way.
He kind of looks at you and he's like, y'all best be moving along. He pulls out a shotgun.
Oh, no need for that. Of course, we'll be moving along. I'm very sorry about that. Very sorry.
Said y'all best be moving along.
Well, it was a planned escape anyhow, so better now than never.
Da. We shall grab horses and we shall make our way out.
All right. Well, he probably has this large leather suitcase that kind of flips open on the top.
Oh yeah, full of his elixirs.
Full of his elixirs and tinctures and and such.
Yeah.
And he'll take one out and kind of look at it and kind of mix a few together.
Okay.
And go up to to the front where, I don't know if it's a saloon door or if it's a door.
It's definitely the saloon doors. Come on.
And he'll just kind of look around. Where are our horses?
Yeah, your horses are tethered up right outside the front.
Outside the front? Mm-hmm. I suggest we get a move on. Things are going to get a little excitable here in this establishment. And I'll walk out the thing and I kind of toss the elixir on the ground and I'll have, I don't know, matches back then?
Oh yeah.
I assume they would.
Yep.
Okay, and I'll have a match in his hand.
Jeans.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess we would lane pipe and stuff. I suggest you get on your horses very quickly and go that way. And I point away from where he's indicating.
Cut out to the east. Best chance of making it to the Badlands. We can get to them old engine trails up in the cliffs. If we're lucky.
Roy has always been the best navigator. Now, head towards my horse.
You all get outside and down the way, not far now, maybe a football field's length, you see this clearly Silas Cooks and his boys. And he hollers. He's like, Roy, is that you? You give over Victor, we can put this all behind us, boy.
Did not know that was an option.
It is not option.
I just thought I would toss it out there, of course.
You do that constantly.
Margie, ma'am, there's no reason for you to be all caught up in this.
It's a lot more fun than being caught up with you, if I recall.
Oh, you wound me.
If I thought shooting Victor would have been the answer, I would have killed him yesterday.
It is true. You do not trust Roy as far as I can throw him, but for now, he is a good man.
No, Silas wants us all.
You see them start to fan out a little bit. Their horses slow. You hear, what the hell? The bartender's like, and the flames just go across the saloon.
We should probably be going now.
I'm gonna jump on my horse.
That should cover our escape.
Put the spur to the flesh.
Your horses are incredibly spooked by the fire. You've kind of got to calm them a little bit. Matter of fact, why don't we do a little roll to calm your horses? Let's do an intellect roll. I think I'm gonna make this a pretty low difficulty. We're gonna call the difficulty 6. They're gonna be a 2. You've ridden these horses for a while, but let's see if your horses are calm. Oh no!
16.
A Twanky?
You all jump on your horses, and Marjorie's horse starts bucking and kicking and neighing wildly, still tethered up, and you're just barely holding on. Meanwhile, Silas's boys are getting really close.
I go full speed.
Can I reach over and grab Marjorie and pull her off?
Absolutely. Roll me a might check. We're going to call that a difficulty of 4. That's a pretty tough one.
So, can I ask a question on mechanics?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, how do you spend your stats?
Yes. So your pool, you can spend 3 points from a pool to lower the difficulty.
Okay.
So this might roll is a difficulty 4.
Right.
If you were to spend 3 points out of your might pool, it would become a difficulty 3.
I'll go ahead and spend 3.
Okay.
And
It increases the difficulty, and the difficulty that's...
Then multiply by 3 and have to roll that or better.
Okay.
Yep.
And Edge is like a free point to spend on that without counting against
I think Edge, I think so, actually, yeah. Or it might only be for abilities. I can't remember.
Okay.
Hopefully someone will answer that for us. So you beat it because you reduced the difficulty to a 3, so a 9. So, Margie, you're just about to fall. Your horse is like, it's going wild, and you feel Victor just kind of grab you and, unceremoniously pull you onto his horse as the horse is picking up speed and galloping away. And then you hear the first gunshots. You hear it kind of whistle by you. So because you guys are in the back, can you please make me a speed check? We're looking at difficulty 3 here. You're getting shot at right now.
17.
Oh yeah, you duck and weave, and you see the ground is like, burst in clouds of dust, and rocks are coming up, but you immediately kind of get behind the other 2 of them. Meanwhile, the fire is spread, and you look back and you can see their horses are incredibly spooked by this fire, and they're having a hard time getting them in gear.
As they get close to Marjorie's horse that's spooked near the fire, can I go ahead and shoot that horse so that it kind of falls into the mix?
Absolutely. Go ahead. We're going to call that, you're on, I'm going to raise the difficulty because you're A, on horseback, B, are like awkwardly holding Margie. Like she hasn't quite got to where she's comfortable riding it. You're leaning back, riding a horse, shooting a spooked horse. I'm going to call this difficulty 5. You need to roll a 15 or better. Speed. Yep. You got it.
15.
Victor just takes aims for a second, and you hear the awful sounds of a horse getting shot. And then it becomes spooked, it's kicking all around, it frees from its tethers. You see as it rides into the gang, and they're all getting scattered. They're all kind of raising their Winchesters as it's happening, and they're all getting completely disheveled.
I'm sorry
Is
about
the
that.
smoke
To be done.
providing any cover for us?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Old lady wasn't gonna make it in the Badlands anyhow.
Alright, you guys get a nice head start on them. You ride all day. You ride hard. The horses, you push them to the limit. Your horse in particular is getting tired out, but you put some real distance between them. And they slow down a little bit. They seem, Silas is actually pretty methodical. He knows where you're heading, and he knows there's no reason to catch up to you quick, because he knows you might as well likely die to rattlesnakes and exposure as a bullet.
Silas is not as unwise as his brother.
No, he was on as fast as a wolf. I almost think he was expecting his brother to die.
I'm sure he not shed tears.
Did you technically kill him?
I mean, I think we all shot at him.
I don't think I've ever fired my weapon
Well,
in anger.
I know I hit him at least twice,
Let's see.
but I'm sure Roy was shooting at him as well.
I might have wounded him.
I don't remember. My vision was a bit blurred during that scuffle.
All I know is, like old country, older brother goes to mine to provide for family, never returns. Younger brother takes up mantle, runs away to America. This is how it rolls. But
Suppose.
younger brother is now. We need to make him metaphorically a running away.
Wouldn't it make sense just to give him back the gold at this point rather than lose our lives over it?
Oh no. That whole gang needs to know that blood's been spilled. Blood for blood. Silas will kill us, whether he wanted his brother to die or not.
Just more anger, it's just going to create more death. It just let everyone just go on their way and do their thing. It just seems the easiest thing. I don't know why you're making it so difficult.
You see, Mr. Flynn, he's got it out for you now, so your life is forfeit. Whether it is him or it is you. This blood has gold. This gold has blood on it. And the blood must be paid for.
I appreciate your concern, but I have dealt with, more fanatical individuals than him in the past. And I start remembering back to when I was maybe 10 years ago.
Okay. A younger man then?
Yeah. I was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And me and my sister, we'd lost our parents, and we kind of fell in with this group who were, we're not sure where they were. They were from Europe, we think. And they had kind of strange ideas about this one individual who they kind of almost worshipped. Like a god, but we thought it was just a man. Apparently he, they claim that he, drank blood to survive. We're not really sure. But, we didn't have a place to go, and we went and talked to him and met with him. Was very charismatic and just drew us in. And we were kind of a part of this group for a very long time until one day I came home. I guess I should probably tell the story, maybe.
Yeah, do it. We'll now cut back. You're all back, sitting, beaten and bruised, tired. The sun is now almost completely down. There's just a sliver of salmon light on the horizon to the west. You haven't made a fire. You've eaten what little food you had left in the saddlebags. And Elijah kicks at some rocks before telling a little story.
You see, these individuals, they were fanatical, to say the least. Again, he lived in this large estate that was primarily abandoned, but he had taken up on it and brought these followers in to sustain him, is what he had said. At the time, I did not know the depths of his depravity, but apparently he was feasting upon these individuals. A cannibal, if you would like, a person who eats other people. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Don't ever try it. It's not recommended at all. Anyway, I realized the error of our ways and what we had kind of drew ourselves into. But unfortunately, it was too late for my sister Delilah. I had returned one day, and he was feasting upon her. She was dying before my very eyes. I ran over to try to help her, but he flung me away, and as he did, I reached out and grabbed her necklace. It was just a small little token from her mother. I grabbed it in my hand, and as I was running away, I grabbed one of the oil lamps, threw it onto the ground. I knew she was dying anyway. I had to get out of there and warn others, of course. And as she died in his arms and the place went up in flames, he just looked at me and laughed very hard. Didn't seem to be affected by the flames, or at least that's my vision of it. As I made it out, I had the charm necklace in my hand, and the other individuals were just out there standing, just watching this whole thing happen, because they apparently knew what was going on. And amazingly, I managed to talk some sense into a few of them, and with their help, I was able to escape with their aid. I like to think that I saved a few lives there, but lost my dear Delilah in the process. Anyway, my point is, I might be able to talk to these individuals, and we might be able to convince them, maybe some of them, to help us. Maybe pay them some gold. Maybe that's a thought.
You'll have an oil lamp or another one of your tonics. It seems fire and running is recommended before you start these.
It has kept me alive for a very long time. I am a bit older than some of you, as he kind of like pulls in his dust-covered vest suit that just soaked with sweat and
stitches come undone.
That come undone. Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
See, this gold will allow you to buy a new suit.
They find out if I'm dead, of course. I do have some other things that I could pull out of my pocket, so to speak, but right now I think maybe we should just try to talk to them.
I feel if you must, you must, but it hastens your eventual reunion with your sister.
That was a little unkind of you, of course, but I will think about it. Of course, I would like the approval of my newborn friends.
Briefly, why Elijah's telling the story, I think there's flashes in Roy's mind when he talks about the necklace. I think Roy thinks to about 15, somewhere between 15 and 20 years ago, the plantation house the gang had surrounded, and looking at a whole family riddled with bullets, knowing the awful things he had done. One boy still standing in the doorway, kind of looking past with a birthmark on his. And Roy looks up, looks back down to his dad, his mom, his older brothers, and some of them still clutching their crosses. And then flash forward to another recent scene without setting too much, and a young boy in his later 20s, part of the gang, laughing, and Roy looking at him. And then him sitting back, you talk to him if you want, medicine man. Maybe it'll work. And then kind of just lean his head against the boulder, looking out, trying to count.
Alright.
You sure can talk to him, but gold isn't gonna help this situation. I'll give it right back. I don't give a damn about any gold in the world. I've got enough of it. But I wanted him to feel hurt by what we did. Just like you did to me.
I think with the death of his brother, I think that was more than enough.
You know what he's afraid of is getting what he loves taken from him, and I don't think it was his brother that he cares about. It's this gold. And I take out a piece of it and I just throw it off into the dark.
That was unnecessary.
You guys have a huge bag of gold nuggets. How'd you steal it? What happened? How'd you get Silas Cook's gold in the first place?
Well, if I recall correctly, Silas had taken this mine, this little town. He had kind of taken it over. He was working the people to the bone, and he was leaving. And we had heard about this place, and we'd scoped it out. You had gone in and done some recon, selling him your tonics, and such, and then we know that he was transporting the gold to where his his hideout.
By the way, I was not there reconning. I was there because I was actually trying to sell them tonics, and you pulled me. Your memory is a bit. I don't know. Maybe all the excitement has muddled your memory slightly. I was there just on my own, and I got drawn into your caper.
I mean, some days my memory is as muddled as a good medulip, but it's still, you provided good information.
And Marjorie, you remember the day. The mine was yours. The land was yours. And up rode 12 horses, including a young Roy, side by side with Silas Cook and his boy Noah. And he rides up. Silas comes up and you dust yourself off, come out of the mine and look up at him. He says, "Ma'am, is you Marjorie?
That's me.
This here's your mine?"
It sure is.
It's like, "All right, well, my name is Silas Cook. I'm a bit of a businessman. Got a proposition for you.
Well, I'll always hear a business proposition.
Heard you've been mighty successful. Struck a nice find up here."
God smiled on me that day.
"Yeah, well, I got some boys who could help you out a little, right? We could provide a little additional labor, help you get some more of that gold out of the mine. How's that sound to you?"
I mean, we're always looking to hire.
All right. Roy, what do you think?
I'll dismount, kind of weighing up the mine, looking to see if anybody else is working, if they're armed, spreading out around Marjorie with a wide berth. Looks like a hell of a mine, boss.
That's
I'll
what I was
set my
thinking.
hand over, rest my wrist on my pistol, looking around.
Well, Marjorie, these boys are, well, they're pretty good at what they do. Their rates are, well, they've got some exorbitant lifestyle needs. Trust that won't be an issue.
She's getting very suspicious at this point. She's looking around, she's like, well, I didn't quite think I'd be changing my business arrangements so quickly, but, well, Silas, you got me. I guess we better start talking. If you want to come inside.
He was like, "I reckon we should." Get the rest of the boys. Gets off the horse, goes inside. And this was weeks ago. And of course, after that, the mine was quite lucrative, and you saw very little of it from that point forward.
So we walk into town in this mining operation here. You sell your tonics, and I've got to talk to a friend, old friend of mine, who I think it will be receptive to our proposal.
What was that proposal again?
You just count men, and it'll give you very much money. Stability, that is the word I was looking for.
But that's all you need. You don't need anything else from me, of course.
And not at the moment.
Well, let's assume you don't need anything else from me. It's probably better that way, of course.
Of course.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go look for Roy.
All right.
I'm sitting with a 1,000-yard stare in a little saloon, back against the wall, of course.
I want to walk into the saloon, pick up a chair, kind of turn it backwards, sit down, put 2 glasses on the table. Yeah, good to see you, Roy, my old friend. How are you these days?
I mean, I'll slowly cock the pistol underneath my arm. Like, hello, Victor.
I see you are as jumpy as ever, Roy. That is not a thing you need to worry about. And you lightly hear the movement of steel on leather under the table as well. And I know this is how we roll, but we're good friends. I have a business proposition for you. How are the cooks treating you these days?
I'll look down. Start to lean forward, still undecided, knowing that Victor is probably the fastest that he's ever seen. Like, well, I ain't the old cook gang no more.
That is good to hear. I've need of a strong arm who is not afraid to do what needs to be done. See, and looking to lighten their load from this mine, as it were. I figure, you know, you have no love lost for the brother's cook, and, well, need a friend.
You mean to rob him or kill him?
If they die in the midst of the robbery, no tears will be shed.
Well, where are you gonna hit him?
And they are leaving in a day or two to transport their ill-gotten goods back to their hideout, and then again back to Dodge City to the bank. I figure we hit them a long way, since they will not have any Pinkertons or anything any of the security that you would expect robbing a stagecoach. It'll just be them and a few boys traveling heavy.
Well, probably be Montgomery then.
More than likely.
Well, Montgomery's good at what he does, but he ain't the best shot.
No, it has been he's gotten too old and he drank too much over the years. But you don't get close, because his shotgun is still potent at close range. But I figure they have to go through... I kind of arranged the glasses on the table to make kind of a pass. They have to go through the Snake River Gorge, and I figure we put you in your Winchester, top of gorge. You'll take out, we'll put a small thing of stones with some of Nobel's wonderful boomsticks, and we blow that, and then you start peppering them from there, and then we will ride up and take what needs to be taken.
You're good, Victor. And I'm better. But two, that's still cutting it pretty close.
You know, I have a man with some explosive tonics, and finding one or two other people around town to be pitsies, as it were.
At least one more.
At least. I have heard that the lady who used to own this mine is quite handy with her shotgun, and would probably more than likely be willing to join us in this endeavor, retrieve her money back.
That was quite a sum of money, I'm sure she would.
Well then, we shall drink to that.
As they're talking, I guess I'm on the way to the mine.
Yeah.
First, on my way out, is there like a physician or a doctor in town?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
The old Sawbones.
also
Got the white smock on, just covered in filth. Saw in hand. What's up?
Doc McClanahan.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I will go into that office on my way.
Well, howdy there. What can I do you for?
Yes. Oh God. Kill my exit again.
Wipes his hands off.
I am. I am not a doctor per se, but I do have some skills. If I was to want to join your profession, where would I go study?
He's like, oh, well, sir, you have to. You can't just learn how to be I learned myself in the war.
I see.
When are you gonna go study? Hell,
Is it?
you're gonna have to head out east, I reckon.
I see. There's any place close, local that I might be able to go study under, like another individual?
He's like, well, I mean, I'd be willing to give you some lessons. It was pretty easy when you get down to it.
I see. Do you have like anything that identifies you as the physician for the town, or is it just everyone just happens to know who you are?
He's like, well, I reckon everybody pretty much knows me. I got my bag, my physician's bag.
Oh, I see. Do I see his bag anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look back, it's open with all the
Right.
utensils sitting on a desk right behind him. I mean, he's looking a little, confused.
Yeah.
He takes his hat off and wipes some sweat.
The reason I'm asking is my dear mother is very ill, and I was hoping to provide her with something to kind of dull the fever and the pain a bit. Do you have anything around here that might help? I'm trying to get him out of the room.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and make an intellect roll? We're going to call him level 3.
Okay.
He's just a regular old doctor. And you've done a good job role playing it, so I would say 4, but we'll lower it to 3 with what you're doing.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that, and we'll see how that shakes
All right, so
out.
I will spend 3. You said 3?
You don't have to spend any. It's difficulty 3 right now.
Well, I can drop it to 2.
You can drop it to 2.
Right, by spending 3.
Yes,
Okay.
that's
I will
correct.
do that. Okay. 17.
All right. Yeah, he's like, well, sure, I can fetch you some laudanum. That ought to help her out.
Oh, thank you.
He's like, yeah. All right. What did you say your name was again?
My name is Elijah.
It's like, Elijah, I just haven't seen you around town. You traveler?
Yeah, just traveling through town.
Goes back, kind of disappears. You hear a door open. He's like, yeah, well, we don't get too many travelers around. Hang on. So you hear jars clinking and clattering. Alright. You're sort of like, take
That's
it.
fair. Also, would you maybe something to help us sleep? Also, you have something for that?
He's like,
As I walk out the door.
give me 1 second. You kind of hastily make your escape. Alright, you get out, no problem.
Okay.
You have a doctor's bag now. We can, I'm not sure what the mechanics for that are, but we can make a rest be more efficient, or binding up some wounds more efficient.
I'm sorry, what was his last name? What was his name again?
McClanahan, Doc McClanahan. Alright. Which one of you approached the former owner of the mine? What's your character's last name again? Wilkins. Right? Which one of you approached Miss Wilkins about the job that's coming up? How'd this happen?
I actually think I found Elijah because right as you were leaving the doc's office, you made it a couple blocks, turned a couple ways to get out of sight.
Nice.
And then a hand reaches out as you're walking through a side alley.
Oh my!
Grabs your horse reins. Grab the reins. And I step out.
Never sneak up on a gentleman like that.
Oh, I am sorry. I didn't mean to surprise you, but you wouldn't happen to be that snake oil salesman who I talked to in Dodge City last year,
well,
would you be?
I am. Snake oil salesman is a bit derivative of. I don't like that title specifically.
Well, I wasn't feeling so
Wandered
well.
salesman of sorts, I guess.
Your nice little mixtures gave me a really fun week.
Oh, I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, well...
What can I do for you?
Well, I just thought it was so interesting to see you in town here because I was just looking for someone who could talk another person into doing anything. And I think that would be your talent.
I am good with people, I do admit. What are you suggesting?
Oh, well, I was just wondering if you wouldn't be so busy, if I might be able to pay you to go talk to a man that I need a little bit of information from.
I'm a little bit busy. How long would this take?
I think it would only take one afternoon.
Afternoon. May I ask who it is?
It's one of the Cook brothers. I don't know if you know of them, but...
I have heard of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, of course, yeah.
Now, I had a business deal going with one of them, and as it turns out, they're trying to move some of their operations and some of their profit out of this town, and I just wanted to know when and where they're going to do that. That's all I need to know.
I see. I think I can help with that. In fact, I have some business in that general area as it happens.
Well, let me loop you in then, and I'm gonna start to lead his horse back towards an alley that's out of sight and chatting him up and outlining the plan for how you're gonna go. Which Cook brother was it?
Silas,
what's his other brother's name? Montgomery. How you're
Monty
gonna
Cook himself.
That's right. You're gonna go talk
The older,
to
not so good shoot brother.
The old washed up Cook brother.
The one that didn't do so well. And the plan is that you're gonna chat him up, get him going, get him loosened up a little bit, and spill in some information about his exciting new gold shipment that he is sending out of town, when that might happen, and who's gonna take it.
I think I can do that.
I know you can do it.
Yeah. You said there would be some payment?
Oh, there will be gold like you can't believe.
Oh, I can believe a lot.
All right, well, more than you've ever seen with your eyes.
Well, that I can't deny.
All right. But then we're probably forming our plan while you guys are sort of forming the plan.
Yeah, you guys are talking at the exact same instant in the saloon just across town.
Little split screen going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And, we should go find our associates and connect them with the doctor. Tonic Man.
And where does the Tonic Man go from here?
I guess I would probably head to the mines.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh shit.
All right, you go ahead.
Before we head out of town to, meet you up there.
Sounds good. I trust you will find perfect perch. I might be faced with pistol, but I've never met man with rifle such as yourself.
I never met nobody as fast, or who talks as much.
It is skill. My mother did always say, Victor, you talk far too much, and that is going to get you into lots of trouble. She was not wrong.
I guess not. I'll shake his hand, though. Before we head out of town, I'm going back into the saloon, knowing that there's one guy who frequently just signs on with the gangs and knows the cooks. He's not officially part.
In the saloon right
In
now?
the saloon.
Okay. You must be talking about old Aiken. Right?
I'm gonna roll up next to him.
He's got his long, kind of stringy hair. Puts one back. He's like, Roy?
Hey, Aiken.
Well, what can I do you for?
You remember where the hideout is for the cooks?
He's like, oh, yeah, sure. It's up a Horseshoe Ridge, just about a mile from the mine.
Good.
You looking to join back up? Thought you had a falling out.
Where'd you hear that?
Hear these things?
At that point, I'm gonna press my pistol into his ribs.
He's like, oh, come on. What you doing right now?
I want you to ride up to the hideout tomorrow. You tell Silas his brother's dead.
It's like, all right. Jeez. Come on, Roy. I've done nothing to you, boy.
And when they get that posse, don't be in it, Aiken. At all.
He's kind of looking at you like, hell, Roy. Damn. And Roy, you walk out of the saloon. And we'll cut to our favorite snake oil salesman as you ride up on your old horse. You approach the mine, and as you do, two fellas, repeating rifles, are like, I help you?
I'm gonna make sure that the dock bag is covered. Actually, before I went there, I wanted to make a really, really good laxative concoction.
Nice. No problem.
Fast acting.
Fast acting.
I remember those myself.
Done.
Just in case.
You did. Yeah, you mixed one up.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll ride up.
All right. Yeah, like I said, two guards sort of. Can I help you?
Yes, I was here to hopefully talk to your supervisor or whoever's in charge, your head man, so to speak.
The one dude looks, and he's got like that thick mustache, and he's just like, he means the foreman. They kind of snicker with each other.
Yes, that would be good. Yeah, I was going to sell some of my wares to him, hopefully.
I don't think he's interested, mister.
I see. Let me ask you this. What do you spend your money on when you're here?
He's like, well,
Women, I
the
see.
usual stuff, sure.
Right? Well, have you ever had an instance where you've been with a woman and haven't been able to finish the deed?
The one's like, it kind of starts.
No, you don't have to answer.
Nope.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, have you heard of others that's happened to?
He's like, I don't know.
Maybe, probably. I do have some things that can really help with that. I'll give you a free sample.
Kind of like,
Not that you need it, but just it also does. It helps you in so many ways. It actually makes you more attractive to the opposite sex or the same sex. I suppose if that's what you
the
like.
guy's like, you got anything to help with this? Lifts his hat up.
Oh, I do.
Got his receipt.
I do. I've got something exactly for that.
Let me get that.
It takes. This is fantasy shot.
The old line is just retreating, full retreat.
Yes, I do.
Napoleon out of Moscow, out of Russia.
It's
French policy.
I tell you what, I'll give you a free sample of that, and if that works for you, then then maybe you let me go talk to your foreman. I mean, granted, it's going to take a little bit to work, but
Kind of look at you like, all right.
I'll throw in a sample of that man enhancer.
Yeah,
I call
I
it.
don't need that, but
But just in case. Yeah, of course.
all right then.
So what I'm gonna take my. So just give me a second. I'll prepare it for you, and I'll go back and I'm gonna take the real fast act. And I'm gonna water it down a little bit so it doesn't happen like right away. So it has a little bit of a delay to it, and I'll give him just something else.
All right. Yeah, he takes 2.
A hair tonic.
Yeah, he's like, oh, all right, mister. If he asks, though, you said you told us you had an appointment.
Oh, of course. And your friend here, would you like some sample?
He's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be left out in the cold.
Well, here, I have a little bit left over of and so the stuff I'm giving him for the man enhancer.
Yeah.
That's the lax.
He takes it just as immediately.
So now
takes the cap
don't
off.
drink it all at once. This smells not so great, but trust me, it'll work. Actually, if you plan to be with a woman that night, it's best to take it in the early part of the day.
All right, mister. Little pout.
Not sure what you'll be doing tonight. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
They're sort of like, well, all right then.
Trot.
All right, you come up. You can clearly see a tent with kind of people walking around. And are you familiar at this point, personally, with the Cook brothers?
No, I literally, they've drugged me into this whole thing.
Yeah.
Pushing off
Kicking and screaming. Yeah.
See, we were on train together, and I saw him talk a man into buying some odd little tonic, and I figured he would be good talk man, and I roped him into it.
Oh, he is. He convinced me to buy something that just gave me the shits for a week.
It was little bits of talk, little bits of...
But you felt so good afterwards.
Oh, man, I guess I did feel better after.
All your clothes fit a little bit better.
All right, you ride up to the tent. You see a large man, white beard. He's got a hat, like a straw hat that's clearly beaten up. He's got an old Henley covered in sweat. But he clearly is walking with some swagger, kind of looking at everyone else like, all right, you boys, go ahead, take a break. And he sees you and he's like, can I help you?
Yes, I was here to see the head of the mines, I believe.
Well, I guess technically
Mr. Cook?
That'd be my brother. I'm Montgomery Cook. Silas, some gentleman here to see you. Looks like he's going to be full of shit.
No, I can guarantee you I'm not.
All right. He walks off. And Silas comes out. He's got a big bushy mustache. Hair is pomaded, slicked back. Hat that he's holding kind of in his hand. He's like,
I just look him over. Is there anything like deficient about him, like skin tone, or does he have any like rashes?
Good question. Yes, let's say, you know what, he's walking with a little bit of a limp.
Okay.
Years of the gang life. He kind of comes out like limping. He's like, do I know you, mister?
I know you don't, but I'm here to provide a service to you and or your men if they do need it. I know that working in the mines can be dangerous. It can be harmful to yourself and physically and sometimes emotionally.
I mean, he's looking like, oh, Jesus Christ. Emerson, why'd you let this asshole through? And they're like,
I told them I had an appointment.
He's like, well, you didn't. So...
well, I like to think I always have an appointment with prospective customers. They just don't know it yet.
He closes his eyes and like a grin comes across his face. Nice. And by the way, you look around, you see about 2 dozen.
Okay, yeah, he's obviously counting the thing.
Yeah.
He's also looking around to see if they look like they're loading up wagons to leave.
Yeah, they are indeed. Okay. They're loading up a wagon.
Okay,
so there's a wagon being loaded up. You can see, and I mean, you kind of catch a glimpse of, like, I don't know, someone carrying a pouch that just is clearly gold, right? Maybe it kind of spills and he's like, oops.
I can help you with that.
Yeah. So you say that, like, we have an appointment with prospective customers. He kind of closes his eyes and he's like, oh boy.
Well, I see, obviously you have a very lucrative situation here. Sometimes when you are... on long rides and such, which I don't know if you're planning to be on any long rides You know, I suppose you do deliver your product somewhere, whatever that product happens to be.
You're talking, he's just like slapped down. Like, he's got this look on his face like, what the fuck?
As you all are traveling along, sometimes it's difficult to stay awake. I can provide some tinctures and such that with drinks that keep you
I know what
awake.
tincture means.
To keep you awake, because you look a little sleepy right now, but it would actually help you right now as we were talking. I also, I noticed she had a bit of a limp. It probably is very painful. Something I can provide that if you take 3 times a day with a little bit of olive oil, make your ride as rain.
He stares at you a little bit. He's like, boy, did you manage to get a breath in through all that?
I do have fast talk, so
Nice.
speak to the creatures who can understand you, and they aren't hostile yet. A reasonable action. The creature can take one. You convince the creature to take 1 reasonable action, which is to give me the information.
Let's go ahead and roll it. I'm going to call this difficulty 8. Silas is serious.
Okay.
No, 8 would be way too high. Let's do 6. Difficulty 6.
So 18.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, can you spend more than 3?
Yeah, it's 2 additional after. So it's 3 for the first level that you lower it, and then 2 for each one after that.
Okay, so
I think you might be limited to the number of times, but I think it might be like 3.
Okay,
total.
well, I was going to do 3.
Okay,
so that'd be 7.
7
Okay,
points. Yep.
So that drops it by 3.
Yep.
And it was what?
So it was 6.
So it's 3.
Now a 3.
So 9. Natural 20.
Okay, so with a natural 20, there are basically 17, 18, 19, and 20 have better effects for players in this game. So a 20 is a major beneficial effect.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's looking at you kind of slack-jawed, puts his hand on his gun, and he's like, well, all right.
And beads of sweat are just pouring down his face.
Pull out your.
Yeah, the handkerchief.
Of course, man, Striker from Airplane who's trying to land it.
Yeah, he's got his hands on his gun, like cocks the hammer back, and then releases it. It's like,
I wrote handkerchief down.
he's like, well, all right.
Pocket square.
He's like, sure, I'll take one of them tonics and take a couple more for the boys as well.
Yes, that'll be
Yeah, whatever.
5 silver pieces.
Couple bucks,
Yeah.
couple gold pieces.
Yeah, I just charge him whatever.
Whatever's reasonable. He pulls out some money from a money clip. He's like, all right, well, here you go. Yeah, we do need to keep up. You know, we're passing through Rattlesnake Gorge, as you know. Well, I guess you didn't know.
I do. I'm not from this plot.
He's like, well, yeah. Dangerous country, it is. But boys staying away can do us some good, so. Well, thank you, mister. Glad you came by.
So he has he makes sure that he kind of tips his big. He has a bowler hat, not too different than hers.
Yeah.
He kind of tips it, kind of pulls it down a little bit even tighter over his face.
Yeah.
I'll be back this way probably about a month, and if you like, I'll bring some more. Maybe
Like,
we can.
well, all right. If they work for us, then you got yourself a deal.
Have a good day, sir.
He's like, all right, mister.
Right off.
Kind of watches you. So like, what the fuck did I just do? Kind of watches you leave. You see Montgomery like, what? And you ride back.
What was the past snake?
You named it.
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake Gorge.
Gorge.
Yeah.
That's what they called it.
Rattlesnake Gorge is where they're going to be riding through. So we will now cut back to the snake oil salesman returning to Marjorie.
Okay.
And I assume you guys had a place where you're planning on meeting.
We were. It's going to be at one of the lesser-known saloons.
And you come in, Margie's sitting back there, nursing a whiskey. You see him come in, drenched in sweat.
Looks like it went great.
Miss Wilkins, it went okay. I suppose that lot is a bit terrifying, to say the least.
Well, I know.
I thought I was about to get shot, and I was just trying to sell him some stuff.
As they're talking, can Victor kind of walk in? I see you met my old boy Flint. Crap. I see you have met Flynn here. This is my associate. Good to meet you. My name is Victor Dragoyevich.
Lovely to meet you.
Well, business partner is probably
Well, ain't it a
temporary. It's just very small task I did for him.
I assume you went to mine. You look perspired.
Yes, it was a terrible ride there and back. It's very hot outside.
You have met the cooks then, I assume?
I did indeed. I met both of them actually.
Well, I'm frankly surprised you walked out of there without any holes in you, but
And
I wasn't so lucky when I walked out of that mine. You used to own the place, and well, Silas rolled in there one day and forced me to sign it away or kill my men and kill myself, and I'm not willing to have their blood on my hands, so I signed the papers.
Yeah, this is why I was looking for you, Miss Wilkinson.
That's me.
You did not want your men's blood on your hands, but how would you feel about the cook's blood on your hands?
Oh, I would feel fine about that.
Well, then you are the perfect person who I am looking for. Now that Mr. Flynn has confirmed information, yes?
yes, there are what I say, like a couple dozen.
Yeah, probably 3 dozen in total. But you didn't see all that many horses being ready, so a much smaller group would be escorting the wagon.
36 approximately. I do know. Did I know they were leaving tonight? Or tomorrow? Or
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
It's called tomorrow morning. Why not?
They're leaving tomorrow morning, and they're heading through the Rattlesnake Gorge, I believe what he said.
Yes. This sounds right, Rattlesnake Gorge.
I wish you all the best of luck on this.
Oh,
I have business elsewhere, of course, you understand.
Oh, Mr. Flynn, we are not done with you yet, Mr. Flynn.
Not till this is over. Then you can go free if you want, but you're going to be spending some time with us until then.
But,
He kind of looks down at his brand new Colt that's never been fired.
Yep.
And kind of looks at the three of them. Of course, I'll be here to help, and in fact, I might be, if any of you get wounded, I'm sure I could tend to your wounds and be a very supportive individual for all of you, psychologically and physically and maybe chemically.
Yes, you should tend to the holes that get put in people, Mr. Flynn. Don't attempt to put any in yourself. If you reach for that pistol to use on us, I can assure you will be scraping brains off the wall before you can put your
my own brain. How would that work? If I'm scraping my own brain, wouldn't I be dead if I wouldn't be able to scrape the brains off?
Don't think too hard. But Mrs. Wilkinson, you have a friend who's going to be waiting for him at the Rattlesnake Gorge.
A friend? Now, who might that be?
Associate, you might have seen him. Kind of lanky man, 1,000-yard stare, always kind of sits in back of group. He used to work for the cooks.
Are you talking about Roy?
I am indeed.
That man's helping us? He's the one who walked into the mine and practically shot me before I signed those papers.
Does not sound very nice at all. Maybe we shouldn't deal with him.
Roy is trustworthy when there is coin on the line.
Well, that much I do know.
We robbed a bank back in Aberlin a few years ago. He was good trigger man. But he's waiting for them in Gorge with surprise.
Well.
We will ride up after he delivers surprise, and well, you can exact your revenge upon Montgomery.
I will gladly do so. I'm surprised, but we'll take it. So,
All right, where is Roy going? What was Roy's plan? Is he heading out to the gorge?
Yeah,
getting set up.
Heading out to the gorge, buying extra bullets. In fact, I think spending all the rest of his money
On ammunition.
on ammunition, a couple sticks of dynamite that he puts in, and then I actually think right before that, I think he's gonna get a shave for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Sit
Maybe a
down.
bath? Okay, sure.
I don't think he'll go but
be
just
too far.
getting shaved.
Yeah,
for
you
the
come in
first
and the
time.
barber's like, let us drop. Like, so what does he do for work, mister?
Nick, here for a shave, not for a top.
Like, all right. All right, you get a nice good shave and you go ride out ahead to Rattlesnake Gorge and take up position.
Yeah, I'll button my shirt to the top button and my wrinkled shirt, look in the mirror, and push my hair over. Yeah. Got a little good for a casket.
All right. So what is you all's plan? You're gonna hit him after Roy slows him up?
So we'll just wait for them to leave town in the morning, and then we'll kind of lightly go after them on our horseback. And then once Roy lights the place up, we'll just slide in, guns blazing, and just pick them off one by one, leaving Montgomery wounded and for last, of course.
Before we go, do I see any of his men in town?
Yeah, I think you see 2 or 3 of them kind of mingling about, causing trouble, playing cards.
Okay. Do any of them look like they have any, like, injuries or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I think they've actually had kind of an easy life recently. They've just been milking this mine.
Okay.
So they're going legit. They just stole it.
Walked her up and stole it.
Yep.
Okay.
This is how you do things in America. You take what you need.
I think you watch as one of them's talking to the sheriff. The sheriff kind of tips his hat and hands off a bag. Sheriff kind of...
Okay.
All right, we're cutting ahead to the day. The day it all went down. Right through the gorge, you've got the high cliff walls of the mesa, a little dry bones river snaking through. You've taken a position overhead. You all are riding some ways behind, probably a mile and a half. You've strategically kept your distance so they could never really get a good line of sight on you. Maybe they know they're being followed, maybe they don't.
Is this the same day?
This is the next morning.
Okay. Would we have any of our pool back?
Yeah, go ahead and take it all back.
Okay. It's been a while.
I guess because we're moving through time.
Yeah, we're moving all around in time.
Okay.
We're just screwing with the whole timeline. It's wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey
Stuff. It's a flat circle.
Yeah, that's right. Time is a flat circle. All right. So you were watching as 7 fellas on horseback, a wagon with Montgomery himself and another fella riding shotgun are coming down this long, snaking path. Gotta go pretty slow through here because it's dangerous territory for the wagons. What have you done to prepare for their arrival?
So, first I rode into the canyon and made sure that there was just... Knowing I can't move a single boulder that much, putting enough medium boulders in kind of a path that... I mean, a horse by itself may be able to kind of trot over, but the wagon most certainly won't.
And you hear the lead rider like, whoa! He puts his hand up, he's like, hold up!
Up on the top of the cliff to different rocks, I first have my rifle with me, but I have extra bullets at each one and my pistol on the last one. I have controlled the field, so I can pick a point and basically take the wade action. And if I hit, I do an extra damage. Whether or not I hit, I can then maneuver to another immediate position.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, you've planned this. You've got it thought out. You've got your stations to run to make it seem like there's more. There's more of you up there. And you see the first one, he gets off, he's like, well, what in the hell? Is that a rock slide? Like, you hear Montgomery like, come on, let's get it moving.
All right, well, to the one in the lead that I've pinpointed, I think I try to keep the range doing gun work math.
Yep.
Flip your little sight up.
Yep.
I spent the rest of the morning filing down the sight, and I'll fire at the lead one.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna normally call all their regular gunslingers 3, but I'm gonna lower the difficulty here because you've sighted it, you've prepped for it, you've caught him. So he's a difficulty 2.
So I need to roll a 6.
What's that actually called? It's not called difficulty, is it? Yes, it is difficulty, and that gives you a target number. So yeah, you gotta roll a 6 or better. You are set up for these guys.
Oh,
So a 19 is a boon to players. It is both a minor effect and additional damage. So you take aim and and it's just right through the skull as he falls sideways on his horse. But not only that, something you didn't quite anticipate: the shape of the mesa surrounding the gorge. The sound of the shot just echoes all around. They have a very hard time even pinpointing where it came from, and the horses start spooking. And so they're all just like, whoa! And they're all looking around. They're all drawing their guns. They have absolutely no idea where it is. We're going to roll initiative.
All right.
So here's how initiative in this game works. You are essentially rolling against the difficulty of NPC groups. And if you beat that NPC group, you will act before them. If you don't, you act after them. I believe the players can then kind of work out based on what group you're in. We mercifully have the writer of the rules watching right now, so I can be corrected if that's wrong, but I think that's my understanding.
Actually, I'm going to look up the...
And you get a bonus on your initiative, right?
I do, I get to lower it by
So
1.
they are a 3, but Montgomery is a 5.
I think my sharp eyes actually might add to that.
Yeah, that would make sense. So, there are now 7 gunslingers left, because you popped the lead one. There were 7 on horses and 1 on the wagon. Mm-hmm. So there's 7 baddies, and also Monty.
You can spend speed to lower difficulty for initiative?
I imagine so. I don't know that for sure, but sure, that makes sense. So, go ahead and roll them, boys and girls.
So we're rolling against a 5 and a 3.
Yes, so it's a 15 to... you need a 15 or better to beat Montgomery, and you need a 9 or better to beat the regular dudes. So you're at the top. Right?
I'm just going to roll for now.
16.
I'm going to take what I got.
I actually beat everyone because I have the danger sense.
Yeah, you're down 1, right? Mm-hmm. So, yep. Okay, who got a 15 or higher?
I got 19.
Nice. Okay, so the 3 of you...
Yeah.
the 3 of you are in the first group.
Excellent.
But we can switch can we switch ourselves around in the group?
Within each group, you decide who goes.
Oh, within each group. I got you. Okay.
And then is Montgomery. And then, Sean, what'd you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 2, so it doesn't matter what
So
it
you're
was.
after the gunslingers.
They don't even know where you are right now, though.
Yeah, they don't. You're going to definitely get a huge bonus to them shooting at you. And then finally is Roy.
Are any of these individuals any of the ones I gave my my shit elixir
those guys
to?
are on guard duty. But even as you're walking away, one of them's like, ooh.
They ain't guarding shit.
Yeah. Nah, they're back on guard duty. So it is the first group, which is the 3 of you. You can act in any order. Of course, the 3 of you are a little bit behind, but you were expecting it. Like, once they got into the gorge, you started riding pretty hard. Like, you knew it was going to happen, and you hear the in the distance.
I'll let you 2 go before me.
But we ride up and we just start bang, 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 bang.
Yep, I've got a shotgun that I pull out and...
All right.
Ooh.
So we'll call your first turn you guys getting there. Like,
Okay.
We'll just, narrative
right.
speed. Yeah, but you all kick the horses into high gear, and you round the corner, and you can now see their horses are spooked, and they're all kind of looking up. One of the gunslingers in the back kind of turns to you all, like, looks surprised, like, rumbles for his
I'm
for his
kind of doing
pistol.
the Rooster Cogburn reins in my teeth. 'cause I've got both my guns out.
Awesome. All right, Montgomery is like, who is that? Who wants to die? And he pulls out his 6-shooter and he's looking for you. He thinks he sees you and takes a shot. Sean, roll me a speed check. I'm going to give you a major boon because he doesn't actually really know where you are. So the difficulty that you're going to have to beat is just a 1. Oh yeah, he fires up. He's firing where he thinks it is, and it's just causing more chaos as the sounds of the concussion are just bouncing all around the canyon. But he has no idea where you are. All right, of the gunslingers, one of them turns to shoot at you all. Let's see who he shoots at. I want to roll a die. I'm just going to roll a die for some fate. He shoots at you, Jonathan. As you're reins in teeth, riding for it, he's kind of like, ugh, he takes aim and takes a shot at you. Make me a speed check. Their difficulty is 3.
6.
Ooh, he got you. Oof. So you're sort of, he takes aim and you feel it in your shoulder. Just, so you will lose 2 points of damage from your might pool.
Alright.
If your might reaches 0, then
Right.
you're like at the first level of wounded, basically. You take a shot in your arm, you're able to hold onto your pistol. It just barely grazed you, really. With that, another one turns around at you two and takes a shot at you, Flynn. And you're sort of like, oh god, oh god, oh god.
So he's got his hand on his sister's
the necklace,
the charm.
Yeah, the charm. It makes you one better, right?
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
So his difficulty is a 3, so you would normally need to beat a 3. It drops to a 2.
Okay.
Is that a critical fail? That is a
4. It was a 4.
Oh, it was a 4.
Yeah, it's like
Thought I got to do my first GM intrusion.
hold up on your intrusions.
Hold your horses there.
Need some permission.
You take 2 damage.
2
as
damage.
well.
That's
from your
awful.
might pool.
Yeah, that's
as
great.
you just this little, he kind of takes a shot and you feel it graze. I think it grazes your side, puts a big hole in your suit. You feel some warm blood kind of down your side.
You're in it now, Mr. Flynn.
All right. All 5 of the others are trying to find you, and they're all just, pew, 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 just shooting up at the canyon walls. They have absolutely no idea where you are. I need you to roll me 5 different saves. All of them are difficulty 1.
Okay.
Want some dice?
You can just roll 5 at once if you want. So only a 1 or a 2, they're gonna get you. Oh!
Wrong attitude.
Oh my god!
Now you may intrude him.
I don't believe it.
No.
Choose not to believe.
Were those both your dice that rolled him?
One of them was. Yeah, I know one of them was.
Sorry.
The black die of death right here.
Yes.
Wilkins. It's because I forced you to sign up here.
You're taking cover. You pop over, and the intrusion is one of them's like, there he is! And they all kind of turn. They see you, and as he says that, you're sort of like, oh god! Bullets are ricocheting. The rock tumbles forward, and you're exposed there. You take 4 total points of damage. And yeah, they're just kind of one hits your leg, one kind of hits your shoulder. You sort of, oh god, grab them and fall into the dust. But it is your turn now, Roy.
Okay. What is a recovery roll?
So you can spend an action and you roll 1d6 and add your tier, and you get that many points back in your pool.
Gotcha.
The first recovery is an action. The second recovery is 10 minutes. The third recovery is an hour, and the fourth is what, a whole day or 8 hours? 10 hours.
That's because that's what the never say die is. I get the first 10-minute one. I also get as another action.
Cool. Oh wow,
Nice.
that's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, so I will. I will. Because I can move at some speed, or
Yeah. I think that's kind of all you do. I think you can do a regular action and move as well.
okay, yeah,
I think
sorry,
so, yeah.
that's my question. I am going to move to another rock and then spend the action to do a recovery roll.
Yeah, you run over,
kind of just,
pull the bandana out. All right, go ahead and roll it.
I need
Break,
D6.
break your one of the rounds off. Put some.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that one more time.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, you get to allocate those back to your pool.
So my pool's back to the top.
Yep. Okay. And with that, we're back to the group riding in on horseback. I imagine he's in the lead. He's right behind him. That's why that was the way the fate shook out. You're right behind him. You got your shotgun up, riding on your horse. So you guys can act in any order you'd like.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and using, I guess, my quick draw. So I kind of already drawn my. I can shoot twice.
Yeah, cool.
Boom and boom.
No problem.
I'm just gonna aim at some of the gunslingers.
Yep.
Try
Yep. There are 7 gunslingers left.
All right. That's a 1. Oh, and 16. So.
Man, all right. So the first one, you take aim, take the shot. The second one, you get a twinge of pain from where you were shot earlier. Pull the trigger, and your hand just cramps up, and the gun falls on the ground as you ride past it. The horse is kind of stomping over it.
Liked that gun.
Oh.
I'm just gonna kind of drop the reins and just kind of hold them down with my arm that's not working. I'll kind of wrap it around so that it's not holding it, but so much I'm controlling it.
You're holding on to the horse a little better. But you do drop one of the gunslingers who had his pistol away, just falls over, tumbles into the dry riverbed below. Who wants to go next?
Let me go so I can help you.
Thank you. Okay.
Cool.
So he'll take out his pistol and he's ahead of her.
Yep.
So he's just going to he's going to pull to the side a little bit of him.
Yep.
And he's not going to try to hit anyone.
Okay.
He's just doing kind of covering fire.
Trying to suppress.
Yeah, he's just going to and he shoots, he just empties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within seconds.
He's
Not even aiming at all. Okay, because of the distraction, I will give you a 1 difficulty bonus on your shot as you come in. So yeah, you come in just, and I'm gonna give. You know what? Roll me a d6, Jeff. Just a d6.
Slide me that book there.
Yep. 2.
Okay, so 2 of the gunslingers will also have a penalty on their return shots because they're just ducking down from your wildfire.
Nice.
It's now your action.
So I've got the fleet of foot ability, so if I can beat a difficulty 2, it means I can move and take an action.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so maybe normally you can't always move and take an action.
You move or take an action?
Yeah, but I mean on horseback, I think the horse is doing its action. But yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
You can
So
do
I gotta
that.
beat a 6. Another one!
Well, you rolled
This thing is cursed!
dark die of hell.
man.
I'm used to being the DM.
Okay, here's the GM intrusion. As you're riding in, your horse gets spooked suddenly and like skids to a halt as you see one of the gunslingers pull out a stick of dynamite. And your horse is like, ah, shit! Your horse knows.
Oh man, do I? So I
You
don't
still get your
to,
action,
I still get to try. I'm gonna try now. I'm probably not super close, and I have a shotgun, which is
Yeah, I'm
not
gonna
a
give it a
great
penalty
distance
for
weapon.
sure. Yep.
I'm gonna try to shoot a dynamite guy.
Okay, alright.
So let's see here.
I'm gonna raise the difficulty by 2. Next
Okay.
turn it'll be 1. The following turn it'll be regular because you're just far enough out to where it's
Cool.
just gonna be hard to get.
And then
to do
is
it.
that affected by the covering, or that will be for that?
Yeah,
right?
so that'll be that'll subtract 1. So difficulty's up 1. Difficulty is 4.
Gotcha.
So
So
12 or better.
I will actually spend 3
Okay.
of my pool from speed.
By the way, just my courage guarantees a reduction also.
Okay.
So unless I was just explaining how it worked.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, I have to spend points.
I actually have an
Yeah.
edge. I have an edge in speed, so I can for free reduce it by 1.
You can. I think it reduces the cost by 1, so
Okay,
you only
so
spend
it's-
2 instead.
so I only
I
spend
think
2.
that's right.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Edge might all. I know Edge is for activating special abilities, but I think it works for that as well. I'm not positive about that, but we'll roll with it.
Try for it. So what am I
Doesn't
aiming
matter.
for?
Monty will tell us before we take him
Yeah,
out.
you're aiming for 3 at this point.
3,
because it
okay.
went up to 5, back down.
Let's try it. No!
Oh, bummer.
Just missed.
Yeah, just missed. You take aim, and he kind of like a couple of the pellets hit him, and he's just like raises the dynamite up.
Damn it.
Okay, all 3 of you have acted now, so it is Montgomery's turn now. He kind of stands up on the wagon and looks over the top to see you guys back there, but he looks up, he's like, "Was that you, Roy?" I don't know if you can answer or not. I think the timing is like 5 to 10 seconds for a round, so I guess you can get a free quick response.
Sure is, Montgomery.
He's like, "Oh, you is stupid!" And he raises his pistol and just kind of tries to suppress you a little bit. Kind of shoots at the rock a couple times. Maybe an intelligence or an intellect check. If you fail it, you're going to be 1 harder difficulty next time because he's just shooting the rock to try to suppress you.
Gotcha.
You beat it. He's a difficulty 5, so you need a 15 or better. So you hear it hitting, and you just kind of steel yourself. All right, we've got 6 of these gunslingers left. You see the one. He chucks the stick of dynamite at the 3 of you. Let's see how many of you are in range from where it lands. Oh, all of you. Nice. Can I get all 3 of you to make me a speed check? Or, well, I guess you're
Just for clarification, you get 1 action. You can attack, activate a special ability, move, wait, defend, or do something else.
Gotcha, so it's kind of one or the other. Thank you for looking that up.
Natural 20.
Nice. Yeah,
What
you
was
are.
our difficulty?
So there are 3, so your difficulty was a 9 or better. Or the difficulty's 3, which means the target number is a 9 or better.
Okay.
So all of you see it, like, kind of clatters the dirt. You're like, oh shit! Kind of, go to the side. The dynamite explodes. Your ears start ringing. It echoes all throughout the canyon. Your horses are spooked and whinnying, except for you, Flynn. You just happen to already be kind of deaf in that ear. Like, what's the matter? You're completely fine. But not only that, with that 20, as you ride around, you quickly make the connection, and you can see the box of dynamite that he pulled it from. It's kind of the lid is half open.
Okay.
You can see where that is, and you're completely fine.
All right.
And with that, there are 5 more gunslingers to take shots. Let's see how many of them shoot at you guys versus how many shoot at Roy. All of them divert to you all because Roy is pretty well protected. So, the first shot is coming on you, Jonathan.
15.
All right, he's just... You're ducking. Bullet ricochets off of you.
You'll have to do better than that.
4 left. Next one's shooting at you, Elijah.
10?
Yep, you're good. They're all kind of taking cover now behind the wagon. They've dismounted off their horses. They're scattering to some rocks, shooting at you all. 2 left. This one is on you again, Elijah.
16.
Yeah, you're just... In fact, you're right. Your horse wasn't spooked at all. You're kind of riding now down along the river edge, kind of still getting very close to them. They're trying to take those shots, but your horse is just moving too quickly. And the last one shoots at you, Miss Marjorie.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. A 9?
That's exactly
On the
what it
nose.
is.
Just made it.
You duck, but you hear it right by your ear. Whizzes by.
It goes through the bowler.
Yeah, you got a little hole in the hat.
It looks nice now.
Now we are in the fun, my friends.
Android, it is your turn. Montgomery is still sitting on the wagon, taking shots at the rock you're hiding behind.
I mean, his mission's Montgomery. So I think he's going to, from the rock this way, roll out, elbow up, and fire at Montgomery.
All right, he is a 5 difficulty, but you're on high ground, so I'm going to reduce it by 1, so he's down to 4.
And then I can spend an edge to reduce the cost of reducing that.
I think that's how edge works.
So
yes.
if okay, so I could reduce.
So you could spend 2 to make it a 3.
Okay, that is what I want.
Oh, and you could spend 4 to make it a 2, because you can spend 2 after the initial one.
And is that coming out of might?
Yeah, speed for shooting.
Okay, 2. All right, I'm gonna just spend 1 to bring it down to.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna spend 2 and bring it down.
Bring it down to 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The edge reduces the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been
Yeah.
doing that.
Okay, so it's a 2, so I need a 6 or
yeah.
better, right?
Yep.
All right, and then I'll do pierce when it comes up, so that'll do an additional damage.
Additional damage. That gets him.
So that's 7 damage.
7 damage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Montgomery's aiming. I mean, in slow motion, you lean up, lock eyes with him. He sort of has that look of recognition. Right through the head. Just falls down dead on the front of the wagon. His large body tumbles across. You hear some of the boys like, they got money! Okay, with that, we're back to this group. There are 6 gunslingers remaining. You just saw Montgomery go down as Roy is taking aim from the rock up above.
Let me go first.
Go ahead.
Reach into my bag.
Yep.
Pull out one of my famous flaming elixirs.
Yeah, sure.
And this time, what I'm going to do is I have the vial.
Yep.
I'm going to ride up some near where the dynamite is.
Yep.
And I'm going to uncork it, light the match,
Nice.
drop it, and throw it.
It's like slow motion, like.
Alright, I think that sounds to me like a speed check.
Sure.
And I'm going to call that difficulty 4, so that
Sure,
thing doesn't
sure.
blow up in your hands.
All right, so I'll spend 5, 7, 2 left
Alright.
to drop it by. That'll drop by 3, right?
You spent 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 1?
Oh, yeah.
19.
Oh, yeah, that even gives a minor GM effect. So not only do you hit it, it lands right on the box of dynamite. You, in slow motion, see the fire spread, start to hear the crackling.
Take cover.
Two of the men are like reaching towards it to try to put it out. The wagon blows up in the air, flips sideways, hits the ground. Okay. I think all of the remaining guys were taking cover nearby there. They're either dead or extremely wounded. Just ringing throughout. The horses are blown to bits that were pulling the wagon. You all just see the whole thing skyrocket through the air and come crunching onto the ground.
Elijah, as a free action, will vomit.
Reaction.
Same body parts and different.
And every time he stops, he'll look and see another beast.
Victor is laughing like a madman. He has not had this much fun in a while.
Marjorie was sighting down her gun barrel to shoot, and like she's just pulling the trigger when it explodes, and she's like, "This thing's pretty good."
I'm gonna roll up to the nearest gunslinger who's still kind of twitching.
He's
And
like, his eardrums are
just
busted.
gonna kind of pull my horse up, just kind of hop down and just put my foot on his chest and just
Finish him off.
finish him off.
We hear the last shot echo through.
I'm sure no one heard the explosion.
Yeah, definitely not.
No,
You're good.
that was a little more bang than I was expecting, but good job, Flynn. I know that was recently kept you around.
I was a bit lucky, I suppose.
See, what did I say? You talked them out of it with your fire.
I suppose.
Never gonna drink any of your stuff again.
As
long as you drink the right stuff, it's fine.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna walk over and see. Is Monty? Monty's dead.
Oh,
dead.
he's very dead.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Just making sure. I'm gonna kind of roll him over, pull him, and lean him against the wagon.
Okay, what's left of the wagon?
What's left of the wagon.
It's basically splinters. Roy, you make your way down the side. Come and join the rest of them. Look at the carnage that you have wrought.
I'll be surprised to see Miss Wilkins and probably Miss Wilkins.
Nice to see you again, Roy.
I told you he was good for use.
Glad your gun was pointing in the other direction this time.
Start pawing through the wagon looking for the.
Oh, you find it. You find the gold. In some cases, it's scattered all over the place, but it's glinting in the sun. Not long after, you pick up a hefty sum of gold.
I suggest we get to the next town and maybe not one on an obvious trail, so maybe they don't follow us. I don't know.
You believe
Sound
Empire
being
is,
hopeful.
we'll make for Empire, and then we will head towards Dodge City, and then we'll move beyond from there. We'll split money at that point, and you will be on your way, Mr. Flynn.
Very well, very well.
Before we go, I'm gonna dump a little handful of the gold coins on Montgomery's body and say, "Hope it was worth it to you, Monty."
Love it. Love it.
I'll put my fingers up to the horizon and we should make Empire by sundown.
It sounds like plan.
Alright. We're now going to be back in the present. You all are sitting on this hill, starlight above. The sun is long set. Below you, you hear the occasional rustle of folk. You hear some chitter chatter. They've lit some fires. In some cases, they sound like they're having a pretty good time. They have pretty much surrounded the hill. What do you all do?
Reach into my vest and pull out my little case, and I'm gonna pull out one of those small cigars. And I'm
Cigarillo?
Cigarillo. I'm gonna offer to the
I'll
rest
take
of
one,
them.
thank you.
I'll pull
I
one.
do enjoy a good cigar.
One that's already mashed up and chewed on the inside out of my own.
And he'll reach into his bag and he'll pull out like he's got a flask of brandy. Mm-hmm. And a couple shot glasses. Don't worry, this is actually brandy. Look.
I'll light it, and I'll offer to light yours as well.
Take it, yup.
Dip the cigar in the back, and then it tastes. It's very nice.
I'll give it a try. No, use not.
So I've also got the bottle of the whiskey from Empire that you bought that we didn't get a chance to drink. Well, then I suppose we drink and be merry, for we shall spill more blood in the morning.
Think those yellow bellies are brave enough to come up here at all during the night? I don't think they are.
Cyrus is a slow, methodical man. He will not waste blood on trying to fight at night. You can hear them down there. They're singing. They've started fires. They are like Russians outside of, or Frenchmen outside of Moscow. They think they are so in charge, but they no idea what is coming.
Is this hill we're on? Do they gonna have to come up the hill to get to us?
Yep, come up the hill to get to you.
As we're kind of drinking, it's still night.
Oh yeah, it's late now. It's midnight.
Okay.
Maybe a little after.
I'm just gonna take the rest of my concoctions, and I want to just plant like traps on the hill around anything from maybe something we could light on fire to maybe like some smoke or
you definitely got a couple you could do it. Then shooting it could ignite it, set it off.
Yeah.
And
at that point, my bag is empty. I still have the medicine bag.
Yeah, gotcha. Still got the medicine bag. You all can take a full recovery.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm sorry. You can take you can take 3 recoveries. That would be your. Well, I guess the heist was yesterday. You guys had some rest in Empire.
10 hours is the top.
Yeah. Go ahead and take the up to a 10-hour recovery to get to where we're at right now.
So that would.
And as you all are kind of setting up, you hear Silas from down below. Says, "Well, Roy, Miss Wilkins, Victor, that other feller, you guys go ahead and get some sleep. You got a rough day in the morning. Oh, and don't even think about trying to sneak out tonight. You won't make it far without your horses. We can, last chance though, you can come down here. We can talk about it. We can put this all behind us."
Silas, I will talk to you when I give eulogy at your funeral.
Thought you might say that, Victor.
I'll be looking from the large tree that I'm sure is up here kind of past. Close my eyes. "Hey, Silas, it's Roy."
Roy, what you doing, boy? You was like a kid to me.
"I know you never cared much love for your brother Montgomery. Not saying you wanted him dead."
Well, he was still family.
"No, I think the only person you ever cared about was your son. By the way, you heard from Jericho Way lately?"
There's a long pause. It's like, what you trying to tell me, Roy? How long we ride together, Roy?
Probably about 22 years.
That's right. You at least owe me. What you talking about right now?
I'd like to flash back
Awesome. All right.
to a month ago in Jericho.
All right. Here we are in Jericho. What's the scene? Tell me.
We're at a brothel.
All right.
And Noah's half of the gang, or
Yeah.
dozen of
Noah's
the gang,
little splinter.
is here. And I'm sitting in the saloon, flashing back to the kid that I saw with
the birthmark.
with the birthmark 20 years ago, to 2 days ago, seeing a man on a plantation with the same birthmark and his family dead, and a little girl standing in the doorway, almost exactly the same, realizing I've killed the same family 2 generations in a row. And Noah just being like, "Ah!" and just playing it over in my head. Finishing my drink, stepping up the stairs, and there's the one guard sitting there.
Yeah. He takes a sip out of his flask. He's like, "Boss is a little busy, Roy."
I'm gonna start to act like I'm walking past him, like, bet he is. Puts his head against the knife.
Tries to grab you.
I'm gonna kick in the door with Noah.
All right. Noah's like, "Roy, come on! I'm a little busy in here. Can't you see
And
me?"
I'm just gonna keep walking forward and
Nice. Roy, just riddled with bullet holes, kind of looks up at you. Woman starts screaming. Whole place starts hollering.
I will continue by picking up his gun by the door, and as the rest of the gang comes out down the top hallway, fire the shotgun, and just...
Lay waste to him.
And I'll walk out
Make your
and
escape.
wipe the blood on my boots and start heading towards the town where we met.
Awesome. He's like, what about Jericho Way?
I cut my hand up. It was a piece of Noah's skull that flew off and cut my hand when I killed him dead.
Roy! I know, you must be lying, boy. You must be lying to me right now.
I killed your brother. Killed your son. 2 for 3.
You hear someone like Boston, like whispering to him. He's like, yeah, I know. Roy, goddamn you. I'm gonna kill you myself tomorrow.
Maybe you're too old to have no more kids. The gang ends with you either way.
Shit. You hear him, he's fuming, spitting, cursing.
I can help with that.
It's like, you shut up!
Roy, you are one cold motherfucker. I knew I liked you.
Growing on me.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Silas. This brings me joy, even if we don't survive the night. Oh, it's like old country.
Well, he's mad now. It's hard to calculate when a man's mad turns him into a wild dog.
Wild we can deal with. They are unpredictable, but it's unpredictable in their own misfortune. They're predictable in their unpredictability.
Well, I'm sure we can guarantee on him being mad as a hornet tomorrow morning, coming for you, so we'll have to do our best to make it count.
I assume I have some grooming supplies,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So as they're kind of talking among themselves, he just kind of pulls off, like maybe by the fire, and he just clean shaven. He'll take his hat off and cut his hair back, real short. Puts his hat back on. Dusts off his clothes as best he can. He's not telling anyone why he's doing this. Just maybe it just seems to be a habit, or
Cleaning himself up.
that's what it. Yeah.
Anything else you all do before dawn?
Yeah, I think looking at Miss Wilkins. Hey, Miss Wilkins.
Yeah.
Continuing to look out. Can you read?
I can.
You read the Bible?
I've read it. I have, yeah.
What's hell supposed to be like?
Well, and I'll start to tell him the classical. They say in the book that it's all fire and brimstone and Lucifer and suffering and, I'm not sure anyone in this world knows what heaven's like anyway.
I can tell you what hell is like, Roy. When you get as far deep into hell as men like us go, it gets colder and colder. As the wings of Satan flap. And then you'll find yourself in his cold jaws. And that is where you stay, frozen forever. Let me tell you, having been to frozen hell, it is the worst thing imaginable. That is what I have heard of hell.
That is the worst pep talk I have ever heard.
I don't expect to be going anywhere but there at this point. So.
I'll unbuckle my pistol belt.
Sure.
Seeing that you had some trouble keeping your hand on your pistol, here's an extra one in case you might need it.
I'm gonna take it, kind of.
Only been shot once.
Kind of click my hands, take it, kind of flip it.
It's immaculate. It's never been fired.
No, once.
Oh, once. Yeah.
He's emptied the cylinder. I'm gonna kind of flip the
I forgot to
cylinder out.
reload it. You might want to reload it too. There you go.
Roy, I heard a preacher say once that the Lord is forgiving of a man who, even if he's been evil in his life, if he stops a worse man from committing acts of evil. And I that stuck with me, and maybe that gives you something to think on.
Looking out and be like, so God will forgive you if you kill other men?
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of evil men. These are evil men below us.
As long as he's a worse man than you.
I'll be like, what about innocent men? What about innocent women?
You'll have to weigh your heart when you get to the gates.
You think God forgives a man who's killed children?
I have heard. They have heard that this Christian God is forgiving, but we are not on speaking terms, so to speak. So that is between you and the Almighty.
I've stamped out whole generations of innocent people. They will never take root no more.
I suggest you kill these men like you don't want to go to hell. I certainly don't want to go there. I don't know I will be going there. I've done some good, I've done some bad in my life. Either way, I think if you have the spirit, the drive not to want to die, I just don't want you to feel like this is always going to be the end, because there's always that chance. We could walk out of this. Well, I might walk out of this. Or run.
I'll probably laugh for the first time. I hope you do, medicine man. But either way, I suppose me and these boys can settle up in hell one way or another.
I like that attitude. We shall drink and fight in hell.
Well then, to hell.
To hell.
All right. With that, you all await as the dawn cracks across the eastern sky. Slivers of light at first. Quickly, the dark above turns to a dark blue and then lightens ever so slightly. You hear Silas below. Roy! What say you and me get this started just man to man?
Sure thing, Silas. Come on up.
It's like, I'll meet you halfway.
Fair enough. I'll start getting up. As I walk past Elijah, somewhat subtly, I'll just set my rifle right next to him, just kind of lean it on if there's a rock right there, and I'll start walking down.
He looks at it confused.
I'm gonna roll over on one of the rocks, kind of laying on the ground. I'm gonna sit both my pistols there, and then I'm gonna kind of lean my belt, what's got all the rounds, kind of sitting there, kind of sit my hat on the other side, and just kind of zero in and keep an eye on both where the jewel is, and then a set of kind of rocks where a majority of the men are. And I'm going to use Overwatch, so in that area, as soon as they pass into it, I can, as a reaction, shoot at them.
Perfect. Yeah, you do see they're fanning out, they're taking cover. Some of they're pulling out their pistols, they're laying out their rifles. You can see they're pretty much surrounding this hill, more or less. How about you? What are you doing while Roy stands up to go have this duel?
I'm gonna so I have a big shotgun and it's really no good aiming it, so
Right.
I'm just gonna stand clear right in front of everybody. I'm gonna lift my suspenders up a little bit, knock my bowler hat back, and then point this thing down towards where Roy's headed, making sure no one tries any funny business on him. And you can see there's like gold filigree along the barrel that's just glinting in the rising sun.
Yes.
I'm standing there throwing this big silhouette.
How about Elijah?
Oh, out of line of sight.
Yep, here we go!
I will help you reload your weapons if that's what you need. Provide any medical assistance and of course, words of encouragement through this time, these trials.
That would be helpful, is what we do, Elijah. I slide pistol, I pick up next pistol. You have previous pistol reloaded by the time I pass you new pistol.
Of course.
All right, Roy, you come down. You see Silas coming up. Eyes are ringed red. Looks pretty exhausted. You're pretty exhausted, too. I don't think anybody got any sleep. He kind of crunches his way up the hill a little bit and kind of turns to one side, so he's not necessarily below you. I think you instinctively kind of circle the other way. The two of you kind of standing on the hillside looking at each other. He's like, Roy, I can't believe what you've done. What got into you, boy? Where'd we go wrong? You and me, we've been together for 22 years. It's the majority of your life, boy. You owe that life to me. I took you in when nobody else would. Look at you now.
Yeah.
Pulls his duster back a little bit as the finger taps the holster.
I'll make my profile to the side. Like, yep, I was just a boy then. I signed my name to the devil. You made me a monster, Silas.
He's like, come on. I took you in. We was family. We took what was ours, boy. You know that. You get chewed up, spit out in this world if you don't.
No, you're right. We did awful things. Real awful.
We did some great things too, didn't we?
For you, man, I'm a monster, no matter what. And I just wanted you to know what all them other people felt for a minute. You did this. You killed your brother, and you killed your son. I ain't no man. I'm just a shadow.
And then you hear the click as he clicks off the little clasp holding the gun in. Fingers twitching on the side. Alright, let's see if you can outdraw him. It's gonna be a speed
Draw.
check. He is difficulty 6.
Shadows and dust, Roy.
I will spend every bit of edge and whatever else to outdraw.
Okay, so you can spend 7, which I think would drop to 6 as a result. You can spend 6 to drop it down to difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. So I need a 9 or...
You need a 9 or better to outdraw him.
Oh, 19.
You all watch as the two of them kind of tapping their guns, and all at once, Roy pulls out, he fans the hammer and fires off 3 rounds. Silas drops his pistol. He's like, Roy, how could you? Falls to his knees, and as he does, gunfire erupts all around the hill.
I'm just gonna go ahead and try to give Roy some covering fire from where he is, so he can make it back to the rocks where we are.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative, y'all. All that's left are 36 gunslingers.
What's their challenge?
What'd you get?
8.
So you 3 go above them. You go after them.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense, right?
Reloader.
I think we got this.
I might run out of ammo.
Alright, guys. You 3 decide who goes first. I'm just gonna get a big ol' handful of D20s.
Well, I'm front and center, so I can go first and start trying to... I'm gonna have to run down the hill, which is...
I love it.
Maybe you guys should shoot first, and then I'll run down the hill into the fray.
Kind of as we'll provide you. I'll provide.
Don't
you
point
some-
this way.
Yeah.
Point over there.
I'll provide you
The shotgun is good
covering-
about 8 feet.
covering fire.
As you run down the hill, you will divide the group, right? So only a third of the group would be able to shoot at you, as you've put the hill essentially between you and the others that are surrounding you. So
Yeah, and if
Can you
there's
talk
any
out of turn?
shrubbery-
yeah, I think within reason. You can't
Okay.
make complex plans, but you can shout something real quick at each other.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I want to make sure that during the night I would have alerted them to where those flasks are.
Yeah.
Where the,
thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna. I guess you're running down the hill. I'll go ahead and provide some fire to the group to the right of her. Just
Okay. Opening up.
I said, one of my flasks is right over there. We'll create a nice little smoke screen for her if you'd like.
I'll go ahead and I'll try to hit the flask.
Okay.
Cocktail of mine.
It's pretty small, but you're pretty good aim, and it's static. So I'm gonna call it difficulty 4
Okay.
by default to hit this flask.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 edge to bring it down, or 2 speed to bring it
To
down.
bring it down 1. Yep.
17.
Oh yeah, it explodes, and you see this dark, billowy smoke sort of. So it's kind of just to your right, blocking off six of the people. So you're kind of only facing 6 at this point, Marjorie.
Give them hill, Miss Wilkinson.
Oh, I surely will, and I'm gonna shoot at the closest group because I can move and shoot if I succeed at this roll.
Right.
So I'm gonna make that
Yeah,
roll
make
first.
that roll.
It's difficulty 2.
There you go, you got it.
I did it. Barely.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take a shot and then dive into the cover.
Okay.
It's a speed roll. What's their chance?
3. They are 3. They're all in covers right now, so it's gonna be up 1, so it's a 4.
So I'll spend 2 points to try to bring
Cool.
it down to a 3
Yep.
because I've got an edge.
All right.
one.
Yeah, you come walking down, and I think you just fire from the hip, and you see a hat go flying through the air as one drops.
And I jump into the smoke that's billowing.
Yep, kind of jump into behind some cover as the smoke kind of roils around you. All right, who's next? Roy. You're kind of standing exposed. I mean, I think you're still staring, and Silas is still just looking up at you. He's on his knees.
Where Silas came from, is his horse back there?
It's pretty far back and tethered up.
Okay. How close am I to the next given
to the next people.
the next people to to engage.
Medium range. They're not super close, but they're 50 feet maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna start running back up the hill, and I'll light a stick of dynamite and just hurl it.
Cool.
I guess whether or not it would make an explosion, whether or not it hits him, attempting to throw it at them.
Yeah. Okay. So because you can't really move and shoot, it's kind of the one action.
Gotcha.
But I will say you can just kind of toss it to be a little bit of a distraction. You can't really aim it. I think you're just running as you do it.
So I'll just toss it behind me and start running back.
Yeah. I think in this it's one or the other.
Yeah.
You either move or you do a thing. But you can kind of dive for cover and toss a stick of dynamite that explodes, and we'll have anyone shooting at you will have one harder difficulty doing so. Okay, with that, it is them. Miss Wilkins, 6 of these gentlemen are unloading on you. They are normally a 3, so you would normally need to beat a 9 or better, but the smoke is giving you 1 better. So 2 or better to avoid getting, a difficulty 2, so a 6 or better to avoid getting shot here.
All right. Ooh, thanks. You got the exact right amount for me.
There you go.
I'll just roll all these.
Yeah, sure.
Those actually dice roll good.
God. Ooh.
Onesie in there?
So the
Got a
onesie, they open up, just, and as it happens, you feel a stiff breeze come, and the smoke just dissipates. You were already under some other kind of cover, but you get shot twice, take 4 points to your might.
Ooh. All right.
You hear Miss Wilkins, 2 of the bullets kind of sink in. Roy, you're getting shot by 6 fellas as well.
You love giving us the dice to roll.
Yeah, I love it.
3.
And a 2.
And a 2. All right. 4 points of might. I think not all of them are necessarily actual bullet wounds. I think you're kind of spending your so yeah, it's grazes. One comes dangerously close, and you kind of duck down, maybe kind of fall into the rocks a little bit. Because that's kind of the whole group that are really shooting at you right now. You guys are going to get shots, but you're going to have a bonus of 2 from. So you need to just don't roll a 1 or a 2.
The whole handful?
Oh, they're all coming. They're coming up the hill on the other side now.
Oh, crap.
Oh my gosh!
Ow!
All right.
Is it a 1 and a 2?
Yeah,
He told you not to roll a 1 and a 2.
I know.
4 points of might, and your next round, because you're pretty suppressed, they're going to be 1 difficulty harder for your next shooting. You're just taking cover. Shards of rocks are slamming into your face.
No, 1.
Only
I got it.
one.
There's a 2 in there.
Same deal. A bullet kind of grazes by you. You just hear ricochets all over the rocks, bouncing off everywhere. And with that, it is Elijah.
Alright, so he set his rifle next to me.
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna pick it up, and basically, he made his way up there.
Yeah. He's made his way up there, taking some light cover.
And I toss him his rifle.
Yeah, you're no problem. You just snatch it out of the air.
Now they're fucked. He's got his gun back.
All right, 35 men left. Your turn, Roy.
Oh.
Well, I will use. I'll use that control the field again, where I'll take a shot and then maneuver somewhere else.
Sure.
I'll use my sharp eye, I guess, just to see if you can tell me who I have the best. If I'm scanning, who I have the best shot at shooting at.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you see one. In fact, you see a couple of the lieutenants. You might know his name. In fact, you see old. You see Eb Gailey. He's up there like, "All right, you men go around," and he's kind of giving some orders. You see his starch white hat. It's pristine. He keeps it really clean. It's all he cares about in life. You can clearly see him, and you got a clean shot.
I'll fire on Eb.
All right, go ahead. Not quite.
Yeah.
Because it's not one. The difficulty's not reduced, right?
Yeah, no. It's the same.
All right. You fire off, but it does. His hat goes flying. He's like, "Oh, damn it, Roy!" Takes cover.
I do get a move regardless.
Yeah,
so I'll
yeah.
be like, damn. And I'll slide
You
up
take the
and
shot.
I'll crawl.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go ahead and just kind of pile on down
All right.
at them since I wield 2 weapons, so I can shoot twice.
Shoot twice. Go ahead.
14 and 16.
Yeah, you just... Two guys are taking covers. One guy falls down. Another one is like... He leans up to take aim. You just shoot him. Gun falls to the ground. All right, only 33 guys left, y'all.
And I'm going to roll one of my pistols over towards Elijah, flicking the cylinder out and dumping the shells, the casings as I roll it towards him.
Do you shoot all of them? I mean, I don't know how the mechanics work.
No, I think you would have just shot the one.
You still got plenty of shots.
You still got 5 rounds.
Well, I also put some suppressing fire down
that's true.
earlier when she was running.
Well,
I've only fired 6. I emptied 1.
All
right.
Then I'm gonna.
You also have my other one.
I've got another shot left. Well, no, I actually have to reload, so I'm like. Ugh.
No, you got another one. You got a double barrel.
Double barrel.
Double barrel. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a break action.
And I'm gonna jump up out of the smoke and take another shot. I'm not rolling that die. Not rolling that one. Actually, let me check before I do this if I can move and attack this turn.
Okay. You can indeed,
Oh.
and that gives you a minor bonus. So I'm going to reduce the difficulty of the shot.
Yeah. I hit him.
Oh yeah. You pop up out of the cover. You see one of them. He's kind of taking aim at you. You just raise the shotgun and poof, he just bowls over sideways, hits the ground.
And I'm gonna try to scurry to further down the mountain cover.
Further down. Okay,
Further
cool.
down the hill cover. Mm-hmm.
So you're heading down. The rest of you are kind of at the crest, and you can see behind, the other men on the backside are coming up. She's pushing forward. She's kind of the tip of the spear pushing down the other side where Roy had his duel. So it's sort of Marjorie, Roy, the two of you.
Right.
Make sense? Who's left to go?
You already went, right?
Yeah.
Well, they go, right? I go after them.
Yeah, you're right. So, okay, well, we're only down to 32 fellas left. We're going to say...
Get him below 30 before we die.
We're going to say 16 of them don't have shots. Only 8 of them are taking shots. I think 3 of them are going to fire at you, Marjorie.
Should I just we'll roll these?
2 are firing at you, Roy, and 1's firing at you. And we got 2 more.
I think I got 1.
Yep.
I got 2 8s, right?
Yep, so you take both. It'll be 4 points of... You lose 2 on might. You lose 2 on might also.
I'm almost out of might.
Alright, there's 2 more, and they're gonna fire at...
Oh wait, no, I'm not.
Oh wait, I need to do this instead. Okay, they're firing at... 1 is firing at Victor, and 1 is firing at Roy. 1 more on each of you. 2 more might down.
Oh, 1 more. Just 1 more.
Yep.
Mother.
2 more might down. You all, I mean...
Well, that's it for my might. Is that dead or...
So you drop to the ground and you're now injured.
Okay.
Which I think there's a penalty on being injured. It's on your
You're
character.
impaired, so it's
Impaired.
+1 effort per level. Ignore minor and major effect results on rolls. Combat roll of 17 to 20 deals only +1 damage.
You hit the ground, Roy. You're riddled with bullets. You cough up some blood, lean up against the rock, still just aiming. You just see them swarming you.
yeah.
Y'all knew how this was.
I was...
Knew it.
I don't even know if he'll go for more cover anymore, just...
Alright, that's your action, my dude.
All right,
Right?
so...
It is you next, right?
Yeah, after all of them. So I want to make sure I break line of sight with them.
Okay.
To-
With
The enemy.
you won't be able to get it from all of them, but from a good chunk. You can take some heavy cover, basically.
Okay. Basically, what I want to do is I want to take off my hat and my vest or my jacket.
All right.
So I don't know if I'm trying to like. If I can do my best at like either using the smoke or something like that, I just don't want them to see me taking this stuff off.
Okay. All right. I think you're reasonably able to do that. I don't think they're paying attention to that necessarily, but yeah, go ahead and roll. I think speed sounds reasonable for that roll.
All right. What's the difficulty?
3, because anything with them is a 3.
I will drop the difficulty down by 1. I got a 16.
Okay.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, you're able to kind of take your stuff off. To what is?
And then I take out my medicine bag.
All right. Perfect. And with that, we're back to the group. Roy, you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You're sitting there. You can feel the warm blood on the boulder behind you, cooling down your chest.
Can he spend an action to recover?
You can.
I don't think he would.
You get to do your 10-minute one for free, yeah, but you're right, it'd be your action. You can keep shooting at speed. Difficulty's one high.
So how do you get to the next stage of debilitate? Is that you
You lose another.
just one
pool.
any?
Any other pool. Once you're down 2 pools, you're at the next, and once you're down 3 pools, you're dead.
Okay.
I'll keep firing. I'll just.
If you get damage, does it go off your speed then after that? I don't.
Yes, yeah, it'll go to the next pool.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, perfect.
Seeing 2. Trying to focus.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just
Take
try
that
to
shot.
fire on the next possible one. And I did not make it because the difficulty.
You just kind of miss, stare at him, and that's when like, Roy, come on. Who's next? We're just playing out the inevitable here.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
the
gonna,
system down.
I'm gonna roll over kind of behind my rock. I'm gonna reach into my jacket and take out my flask. And I'm gonna down the rest of that vodka.
Alright,
And I'm gonna
sweet.
spend my
Do your recovery?
4.
Yep.
If I'm going to go down, we shall take as many of them with us.
We will.
We'll meet
you,
Silas in hell.
I'm gonna take a shot at another guy. Let me
Alright.
check if I can move and shoot.
Sure.
Actually, I cannot this turn.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm just gonna stay in cover and kind
Okay.
of pop around. I did hit. Got an
Blow
18.
another one away. Margie, as you do that, you've kind of cleared a path. You do see Silas's horse. It's about 100 feet away, and through about 8 other fellas. But
Alright.
for the first, like, you've now blown away 3 who were kind of in that path. The rest of you don't have a clear escape right now. With that, it is their turn. Margie, you are getting shot by 6 of them.
6 guys.
You are in cover. You're popping out from behind cover.
Very happy.
And we'll make that difficulty drops down to 2.
I failed 1.
Failed 1.
Screw this dice.
I'm still up.
2 more might.
I'm down to 2 might.
Bullets grazing you. Your work shirt's just torn and shredded as bullets whiz past. A couple of them have caught you in the flesh. My dude, Royman, we got 5 on you. You ain't moving. You're out of cover. Difficulty's 1 easier or 1 harder.
Alright, we'll hit the first 3.
Oh shit!
What?
With that
It's
20,
18 and a 20.
you're staring at them. You just blow one of them away,
Nice.
kind of instinctively. And the other 2 take cover from the shot. They stop shooting at you right now.
Alright.
Nice.
Nobody's shooting at you. You're in complete cover, and you, Victor, have just 1 on you. The way you've positioned yourself, just 1, which does not get you. Your turn.
Alright, so where are the least amount of them coming from?
At this point, where Marjorie is,
she's-
because the other ones are now almost like they're advancing up the backside of the hill.
How many
Not
would I
fighting.
get? I didn't guess.
Coming up the hill on the backside,
backside.
probably 20.
20? Okay.
Yep. Because they had kind of, imagine it divided in thirds, 12, 12, 12.
Okay.
Right? And so these 20, you've killed a couple of them, so there's about 20 coming up the hill on that backside.
And she's out of sight. You probably don't want any help. I'm gonna try to help him.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to I'll stand up and be visible at this point.
Okay.
And I'll make a big show of opening my medicine bag.
Okay.
And taking stuff out to try to help and looking terrified.
All right.
Like I'm scared of him.
Okay. I like it.
So I don't know if I don't know how that'll affect his next roll. If he's
I would give it one each.
actually you can't spend again, can you? Because it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can't. You're
You
right.
can't do it again. Crap.
Is that what? Because you give him an advantage on it? Or
I don't know.
something like that?
I would.
Yeah.
I'm just.
You know what? I'll let you give him a free recovery. That's what you can do with your medicine bag.
Okay. Maybe take one of my recoveries away and give it to him.
I'll just let you roll a recovery.
Okay.
Now or
Yeah, go ahead. There you go. You get 3 back. All right. With that, we're back to the group.
can I see that Marjorie is starting to clear her side?
I think yeah. You've got some situational awareness. You see her. She's cracked it and put 2 more shells in, and you can see that she's eyeing Silas.
I'm going to go ahead and try to pick off 2 more
Okay.
on that side and help give her
Awesome.
a clear. Because if anyone should be able to get clear of this, it should be Miss Wilkinson.
There you go.
Last of the Mohican style.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
messenger's out of the fort.
Yep. Easily.
19 and
with a
17.
19, there's a minor effect. You make enough of a show that they seem to turn away from her as you pop 2 more of them. Only 29 left, y'all.
Oh man.
Should be fine. All right. Who's next? One of you two.
Well, with that clearing the path suddenly, I am gonna.
Path is pretty clear.
I'm gonna understand that you're trying to help me at this point, and I'm gonna just run to the horse. Just break and run for the
You
horse.
just heads
No
down.
shot. I've got my gun, but I'm not gonna
Yeah,
shoot it, so I
yeah.
can just run.
You make a beeline. You see the opening. They're all distracted. And you're like, all right, I'm going. You run. I think you get pretty much right to the horse. Like you slide in, grab the reins. It like whinnies a little bit, and you are at Silas's horse. Roy.
So am I facing the side where a lot of people are coming up?
I think so.
Okay.
I imagine. Is that where you want to be facing? The more narratively interesting side, yeah.
So, is one of his flaming concoctions near?
Absolutely it is.
Alright. You tell me if I can do this or not, then. I want to move behind the rock. Next to that, I want to light my cigar, but I've got the dynamite in my hand as I'm starting to close my eyes. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the opportune moment to drop the cigar down and start lighting the fuse.
Nice.
As I think the most people are. Maybe if they think I'm dead, whatever. But
Love it.
I'm close to it anyway.
Guys,
I'll toss the gun.
with that, we're going to wrap this session up. It's getting a little late. We're going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons here in a little bit. Again, this is for Extra Life. Please consider donating to the Children's Hospital of Richmond. Our scene closes as Margie whips this horse away. Bullets whiz by her. She looks back up at the hill. Rocks and dirt go exploding up. Bodies go flying. And that is the fate of our heroes.
I did want to do something.
Yeah?
Yes.
You gonna try to sneak away?
Well, I do have spin identity.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking do it when you started taking that shit off.
I was thinking that might be the case too.
That's why I got the doctor's bag too. So he is. He would have tried to pretend to be Jeremiah Sinclair, who is a assistant to Doctor What was it? McClanahan.
Hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was kidnapped by them.
As you're doing this, as they're coming up the hill, I'm going to grab you, I'm going to pull you down, I'm going to put my gun to your head, and I'm going to whisper into your ear, "You're out of it now, Mr. Flynn." You mother... I'm just going to kind of help sell the
Perfect.
deception.
Victor and Roy meet a fitting end for gunslingers. Flynn lives another day. Marjorie escapes on Silas's horse and lives another day as well.
Flynn, she is walking out, has a bag of gold.
Riding away, and then you see like the bag of gold just kind of like.
I slipped it into your doctor's bag.
Nice, perfect.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back after a
Thanks,
lunch break.
man. That was
That was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
Did you guys
thank
enjoy
you
it?
guys.
Yeah,
Everyone
it
did a
was-
fucking
Yeah,
awesome
you guys
job.
were awesome.
Yeah.
I love. I had nothing planned other than you're surrounded on a hill by a gang. That's where I wanted to start. So everything else was totally organic. You guys did awesome. It was so much
You
fun.
guys did good.
Watching what you guys came up with. I loved all the characters. You guys were fantastic. I liked the Cypher system.
Yeah.
It's pretty rules light. You know, it's rules light, but I think it probably covers a lot more situations than even we were aware of because we kind of did the quick like. How
We
does
did the
this work?
super quick version, for sure.
I feel like you can make it. It's a system that's, if you want it to not be crunchy, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you can find the crunch inside of it.
It's definitely deeper. I was looking at some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Once I had kind of handled everything, I was like, "There's a lot in there."
Yeah, there is. I mean, that rule book is fantastic.
Yeah.
I liked it. I had fun with it. I think it makes sense for us to use as like a go-to for
Glad to have another system
Yeah.
for whatever.
And it's amazing for one shots.
It is amazing for
Yeah.
one shots because it's very low
I
barrier.
mean, none of us knew how to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us knew
Right.
what we were doing there, and I think everything felt reasonable, right? Just on the
So it's
fly,
very
different
friendly for new players.
and also
you know.
just different genres. Hey, we want to do a superhero one shot? We can use Cypher system. Want to do
Sci-fi or-
sci-fi horror, or what we were gonna do originally was a late 40s spy espionage game. That was my original plan for today.
That would've
before I
been fun.
fought Red Dead Redemption. I was like, nah, we're doing Cowboys.
I had a feeling it was
Yeah.
the Red Dead Redemption.
Awesome. Well, that was fun. We hope you guys will join us in just a little bit. We'll be back with Dungeons and Dragons later. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Adios.